And it is 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and polls have just closed in half a dozen states. The Fox News decision desk is making its first calls. The most closely watched state at this hour is Georgia, one of 7 battleground states that could decide the presidency. That one obviously is too early to call.
And we'll dig into those numbers soon. It's also too early to call Virginia, though Vice President Harris has a lead in our Fox News voter analysis, waiting for the raw vote total to dump there. Fox News can project that former President Trump will win the state of Indiana.
Trump will also carry nearby Kentucky for a third time, and it is too early to call the state of South Carolina. But former President Trump has the lead there, according to our Fox News voter analysis.
Meanwhile, Vice President Harris will sail to victory in liberal Vermont. And as we look at the race for 270 electoral votes, that's what it takes to win. Throughout the night, we will be adding up as each state is called. Right now, you see 19 electoral votes for the former president, 3 for the vice president. For the poll closing right now. It is now 7:30 on the East Coast. Polls have just closed in 3 more states. North Carolina is the next state to watch, just like Georgia. It came down to the wire in the last presidential election. It has 16 electoral college votes, and it will be a decisive one, potentially. The Fox News decision desk says it's too early to call.
Also too early to call Ohio, but former President Trump has a lead in our Fox News voter analysis. As we mentioned, we're also watching the Senate race there. Bernie Moreno is the GOP candidate running against Sherrod Brown. And we can say that Fox News does project that Trump will win West Virginia. Not a very big surprise there. Obviously, the former governor, or the current governor, is running for the Senate as well. So
we expect that to be a quick call as well. If you look at the race for 270, the electoral college votes needed to win the presidency now ticking up with that last call, the former president at 23 and Vice President Harris at 3 throughout the night. That will go up as we make calls. Welcome back. We do have a call to make. The Fox News decision desk can now project that former President Trump will win the state of South Carolina. So we are counting down the minutes to the next poll closing. And there you see the race to 270 ticking up on the former president's side at 32, 3 for Vice President Harris as the states are called. We will continue to see that. And obviously 270 is the magic number.
And it is now 8 o'clock in New York. Polls have just closed in over a dozen states. All eyes, of course, are on Pennsylvania, which could be the deciding state in this race. 19 electoral votes at stake. Fox News decision desk says that this is obviously too early to call in Pennsylvania, as we will be watching that one really until the bitter end.
So Fox News is projecting that former President Trump will win the state of Florida, putting him 30 electoral votes closer to the White House. Too early to call a winner in New Hampshire, where Vice President Harris has an edge.
In Maine, the Fox News decision desk says that it's too early to call the statewide race. Maine gives 2 electoral votes to the winner of the state and 1 vote to the presidential winner in each of their congressional districts. Harris will win the 1st district, the rural 2nd district. Too early to call in the state of Maine.
In the Southeast, Fox News can project that Trump will win Tennessee, a longtime Republican stronghold. Not a really surprise there. Further south, the former president will again win Alabama. Big numbers there.
And the former president will win neighboring Mississippi. Trump will cruise to victory in Oklahoma as well, where Democrats haven't won a single county since 2000.
And Missouri will also deliver a win for the former president. Vice President Harris will also take some big victories this hour. The Fox News decision desk can project that the vice president will win Illinois, adding 19 electoral votes to her tally.
She will also win New Jersey, another reliably Democratic state. Some people had thought New Jersey might be a little bit tight, but we're already ready to call New Jersey in my home state. Exactly. Voters in Massachusetts will deliver a clear victory to Harris as well, so no mystery in those states.
Staying in the Northeast, Fox News can project that the vice president will win Connecticut. She will also win Maryland, that state worth 10 electoral votes. There's an interesting Senate race there.
Yeah, Harris will also take Rhode Island, another Democratic stronghold, and she has a lead in Delaware, President Biden's home state, of course, but it is too early to call in Delaware at this point.
The vice president will win the District of Columbia, which has never voted for a Republican, and it continues not. If you look at the Electoral College and the race to 270, it obviously changes with all of these numbers. It is in the corner of your screen, 105 to Harris 72, and there you see it full screen. As we start to fill in this map, little by little, we're going to get closer to 270.
That's because the hour is upon us, 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and the Fox Decision Desk can now project that former President Trump will win Arkansas. The state hasn't voted for a Democratic presidential candidate since Bill Clinton.
And as you look at the race to 270, as it ticks up, 111 for former President Trump, 72 for Vice President Harris. It is 9 o'clock in New York. Another 15 states have just finished voting. This is the heat of the matter here. The Fox News Decision Desk says it's too early to call Michigan one of the two battlegrounds in the Rust Belt that just finished voting, part of that blue wall that we hear about all the time.
The other is Wisconsin, where Vice President Harris and former President Trump appear to be locked in a very tight race. And again, this is too early, not too close, but too early to call many of these races. Arizona also too early to call as the polls are closing there.
Fox News can project that former President Trump will win Texas. That locks 40 more electoral votes into his column. Former president also has a lead in Iowa. There's no call at the top of the hour here. Remember that Iowa poll had people scrambling there at the Des Moines Register saying it was Harris lead by 3.
Yeah, the same day Emerson had him up by 10, but that got a lot of people's attention because Ann Seltzer is such a well-known and usually correct pollster. So we'll see how Iowa plays out tonight. In Nebraska, the Fox News Decision Desk can project that Trump will win the statewide vote. Nebraska gives 2 electoral votes to the winner of the state and 1 vote to the presidential winner in each of their districts. So Trump will also win Nebraska's 1st and 3rd districts, the more suburban 2nd district, Omaha, which is the blue dot that we have talked so much about. That is too early to call, but Harris has a lead there.
The Fox News Decision Desk can project that Vice President Harris will win New York, giving the vice president 28 more electoral votes. She also has a lead in Minnesota. Too early to call the state of Minnesota, which closed in recent days, according to the polling.
Obviously, the vice presidential candidate, Tim Walz, from Minnesota, and now Fox News can project a Harris victory in Colorado as well. She gets 10 more electoral college votes there. New Mexico, too early to call, but Harris has a lead, according to our Fox News voter analysis in New Mexico.
Former President Trump will win Louisiana, which has voted for a Republican in every election this century. Pretty sure we were going to get that one. Trump also wins Kansas, adding another 6 electoral votes to his tally.
The former president will win North Dakota, a longtime conservative state as well. He will also take South Dakota, which often mirrors the vote of its neighbor to the north.
And Fox News can project that the former president will win Wyoming, with 3 electoral votes. So there you see the tally on your screen, 178 electoral votes to 113. That map of the U.S. is slowly filling in, and we will continue to bring that to you throughout the night as we make more calls.
Fox News can now project that Donald Trump will win the state of Ohio, 54.2% to 45%. So obviously that was what was anticipated in the early polling. He was ahead by about 8 points. This is a 9-point stretch, so a little bit higher than the most recent polling was showing in the state of Ohio, but a solid win for him in what used to be a swing state, but hasn't been for quite some time.
And obviously there's 54% of the vote in, but as you look at the Electoral College, 195 to 113. Again, Ohio used to be the swingiest of swing states, no longer, very Republican, much like Florida, and now it ticks on.
So the Fox News Decision Desk can now project that Vice President Harris will win Delaware, the home state of President Biden. And there is the look at the race to 270. That makes it Trump 195, Harris 113 at this hour. And we have another call to make as well.
In a key governor's race, Fox News can now project that Republican Kelly Ayotte will become the next governor of New Hampshire. She defeats Democrat Joyce Gregg. And that was a close race for a while, but Kelly Ayotte will win there. Here are a couple of other results we're getting as our Democracy 24 coverage continues. It'll be on the screen all night long. go. We're going to make a quick call. We'll come back to the board and the panel. The Fox News decision desk can now project that Vice President Harris will win the state of New Hampshire. Former President Trump came closer than many expected there, but the vice president did well in cities and suburban areas. There was a time that New Hampshire they thought was closing. Actually, and we saw that Kelly Ayotte wins in the governor's race there, but now we're calling that for Vice President Harris.
She's a former senator for New Hampshire, popular in the state, but not enough to really turn New Hampshire red in this situation. So the Maryland Senate race we have for you next. The Democrat Angela Brooks will defeat former Republican Governor Larry Hogan. He never really was able to move past her. It was obviously a difficult race for the former governor as he tried to become a senator. Going very quickly, it is now 10 p.m. here in New York. 3 more states in the West have just finished voting. Fox News decision desk, too early to call. The state of Nevada, one of the most competitive states in play. Hispanic and working class voters obviously could be key to the victory there. Both of these candidates have spent a lot of time in Nevada.
Fox News can project that former President Trump will win the state of Utah, adding another 6 votes, electoral votes to his column. He'll also win Montana's presidential election. We're looking closely at that Senate race out there. We have a call to make. The Fox News decision desk can now project that former President Trump will win the state of Iowa. Trump is performing well in rural areas, which helped deliver victories to former President Trump in 2016 and 2020. This obviously comes in the wake of a lot of focus on a poll that shall not be named.
No, let's do it.
Oh, name it? The Des Moines Register poll. I think we've talked about it 7 times tonight. But anyway, it got a lot of attention.
Ridiculous.
It was a attention-getting poll, and it was being forecast to be what the Midwest may look like, maybe because of a gender gap or whatever she was seeing in her poll, Ann Seltzer. We are now calling Iowa for the former president.
Desk can project that in Maine, Vice President Harris will win the statewide vote. Trump will win an electoral vote in the rural 2nd district in the state of Maine.
Fox News can also project that Maine Senator Angus King will win his race. He's an independent who caucuses with the Democrats. So as we look now, the Senate is ticking up. We're going to look at some interesting races in Ohio and Montana coming up.
There we go.
It is now 11 p.m. in New York, and 4 West Coast states have just finished voting. The Fox News decision desk can project that Vice President Harris will win California, the Golden State, 54 electoral votes, biggest prize, more than any other state in the country.
And Fox News can also project that Harris will win Oregon, adding 8 more votes to her electoral college vote. Harris will also win Washington, another reliably Democratic northwestern state.
But the former president will win Idaho's 4 electoral votes. So as we see the race to 270, it's now 216 to 193. Fox News decision desk can now project that former President Donald Trump will win the state of North Carolina. This has been a contested state. Vice President Harris went there many, many times. Democratic governor in the state of North Carolina. You saw former President Trump go there a number of times, about 4 times in the past 2 weeks to campaign. The campaign always felt that they were in good position in North Carolina. Now we can project that he will win the state of North Carolina and its 16 electoral votes. The Fox News decision desk can now also predict that Vice President Harris will win New Mexico. That was a tight race. It had tightened in recent days, but Vice President Harris will win New Mexico. So as we look at the race to 270, the electoral votes needed, it now stands at 232 for former President Trump and 198 for Vice President Harris. Another call to make.
That's right. We can now let you know that the Fox decision desk can project that Vice President Harris will indeed win the state of Virginia. This was much closer. It was a state that the Trump team said they felt they might be able to expand the map, but he did better than he did in the prior elections. But this has just been called for Vice President Harris. And President Trump did better with non-married men than he did 4 years ago in Virginia, which seems to be a theme that we're seeing in a lot of these states. That all according to the Fox News voter analysis.
We're going to make a call here. Stand by.
Fox News projects that the Republicans will take control of the United States Senate. The party will hold at least 51 seats, which is enough for an outright majority.
The tipping point for this is Nebraska, where Fox News can now project that Republican incumbent Senator Deb Fischer will defeat independent challenger Dan Osborne. Now, this was a very, very tight race. The incumbent Republican pulling this out. And that means, because of Bernie Moreno and West Virginia, that it now goes over the top as far as the Senate majority. But we don't know the final number yet.
I know you're going to make a call because it's midnight on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Come back. It is Wednesday in New York. Time flies. Polls just closed in Hawaii. The Fox News decision desk can now project that Vice President Harris will win the state of Hawaii. The Aloha State has voted for the Democrat in every election since 1984. This was no different.
And the Fox News decision desk believes that Vice President Harris will win Nebraska's 2nd district, the area around Omaha. Not a big surprise there either.
Not. But as you see, the 270, we're at 232 to 216 with these big races still pending. The path is getting narrower for Vice President Harris. I think we're getting ready for a call.
I think we are too. Are we?
Fox News can now project that the state of Georgia will go to former President Donald Trump. This was a really hard-fought battle. If you think about Georgia, loses it last time to President Biden by 11,779 votes. For some reason, that number sticks in my mind. And this is a big win. He went there, campaigned there, and so did Vice President Harris numerous times, thinking that Georgia could stay in the Democratic column.
1 a.m. in New York. Polls have just closed in Alaska. The Fox News decision desk says it is too early to call. Trump has a lead in our Fox News voter analysis, so we will get you back to Alaska when we have a little more data to report there. Up there, we will take you there live.
Well, those guys had two Make America Great hats on.
I saw someone with a
front,
really large
back.
one. Yeah.
As we look now at what we have, Pennsylvania. Is this a call, ladies and gentlemen? We are now projecting that Donald J. Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania. Former President Donald J. Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania, and thereby he is on his way to becoming the 47th president of the United States. With this, the path for Vice President Harris has narrowed, and there's really no path going forward. It's vanished. This is historic. Everything was about Pennsylvania. Everything from the beginning was about Pennsylvania. Now, former President Trump will win the state of Pennsylvania, and we can make that call, the 19 electoral votes. That puts him at 267, not officially over the 270, but the path that it takes to get to 270, he is well on his way to becoming the 47th president of the United States in what is going to be the biggest political phoenix from the ashes story that we have ever seen. This could be a massive landslide just by what we're looking at in the polls. Fox News decision desk can now project, though, Vice President Harris will win Minnesota, and her running mate Tim Walz serves as the state's governor there. That takes it up to 267 to 226. But again, Donald J. Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. More Democracy 24 special coverage next.
Yeah, well, young voters can sniff out a fraud. They can sniff out somebody who's chameleon-like. She changes her position according to the prevailing winds. They didn't like that. Many across the country, young students said, for me, a red line also is mass atrocities, is collective punishment, is what I see going on in the Middle East, and I see us as complicit in. And so they, were saying, I'm not just that enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get out.
I got 15 seconds for you, Steve.
I just think when I see this unfold, Trace, it is just a massive victory.
Oh, we got to
common
jump back.
sense.
Sorry, guys, back to you. We got Trump coming out.
Trace, thank you. The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
The former president's comeback will be complete with a win in Wisconsin, a state that he narrowly lost 4 years ago. He is now the second president in U.S. history to win non-consecutive terms. The first was Grover Cleveland in the late 1800s. Senator J.D. Vance will become the 50th vice president of the United States. Voters express deep frustration with the Biden administration, and former President Trump and the future President Trump overperformed in urban areas, particularly with men, proving that the strategy that they doubled and tripled down on over the course of the last few months absolutely succeeded and brought him back to the White House.
47th president of the United States, former President Trump now defeats Vice President Kamala Harris, who entered this race just over 100 days ago. And for Democrats, they were projecting the possibility of running the table with battleground states. David Plouffe with the Democratic campaign of Harris campaign suggested that just yesterday. Now it is possible that Donald Trump runs the table with these states and builds on a big landslide electoral win. We don't know where the popular vote is going to finish out, but we do know that he will be going back to the White House, and with him, Brit Hume, will be a lot of changes because he will have been there once and will know what he wants to do.
I think a lot of the American people I spoke with said, I just want there to be a decisive outcome. And I think that is a gift to the country. And I hope that we can all wake up in the morning and be and move forward with our great country.
Thank you for joining us for Democracy 24 election night coverage. Trace Gallagher picks it up from here.
Good night, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.